What up, man? Let's talk to him,
Peace,
man.
peace, peace. Mind Ascension here.
Yeah.
Peace to my 6 to 22 strand, 7 to 9 ether, selenium base, you melanin, gods of this planet. You know what I
Uh huh.
mean? I'm over here chopping it up. We in the elements right now. Noon is raining down upon us. You
Shit.
know what I'm saying? That primordial abyss, the
Yeah.
primordial dark waters. We must learn to make everything a form of ritual, everything a form of ceremony, everything a form of divine act, no matter what it is. And
Uh huh.
once you get into that practice and you get into that habit, that's when you start becoming divine.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, you know what I mean? I'm here with my brother once again,
Uh huh.
ready to build.
True.
You
True.
know, what exactly was on the mind? What was that topic?
uh. Yeah, man. We was talking about a little earlier. It was about I seen you and I was like, yo, man, I'm trying to do this and that. You was telling me, yo, I need to stop saying trying.
Yes, yes, the power of vocabulary. The
True. True.
fact of the
True.
matter is, every word you speak upon yourself is a spell upon yourself. So
Uh huh.
when you speak certain words that have a certain connotation attached to it, you
Uh
want to speak a word that has a solid foundation of confidence, power, and divinity. When you say the word try, you're using a
True.
vague term that is
Uh.
usually associated with failure. If
True. True.
somebody seeks my guidance or seeks my help, and they
Uh.
come and say, listen, brother Mind Ascension, I really need you to do this, this, and that. And I come back to him and I say, hey man, I try. What do you automatically know before I even finish my sentence? That it
Uh.
didn't get done.
True.
Because when someone tries something, even though they're making some type of attempt or maybe no attempt at all, that trying
Uh.
is an aspect of failing. You see what I'm saying? But when
Mhm.
you say it's done, I've did it, it's over, I'm finished, that is a definite aspect with a
Yeah.
foundation of confidence and solidifying
Uh.
something, or solidifying something is
Uh.
complete.
Yeah.
So when
But
you use words with
Uh.
the basis and with the
Yeah.
intentions
Yeah.
of defining something with a solid aspect.
All
You
right.
don't want to use words that are vague.
Yeah, but yo, I like to interject a minute. So, you know, I agree to disagree because, like, when I was in the church heavy, they used to say, like, yo, speak as it is, and they kind of say what you say, right? But, like, I feel like you gotta keep it 100 sometimes. Like, if you having a bad day, should you say you having a good day?
No, you should say you're having a challenge. You're being challenged to yourself. See, you're confusing it right now because you think that I'm talking that namaste positive bullshit. I'm not talking about that. I'm
Okay,
talking
okay,
about controlling the words that you're using to define your own self, and
right.
that words that have connotations attached to it that are not based in failure, that are not based in a lower energy. So when
Uh,
I don't say I'm having a bad day. I don't say I have a problem. I say I have a challenge to my divinity. I say I
true.
have a challenge to my power, a challenge to my humanity, a challenge to my intelligence. I don't
Uh,
say I have a problem. I don't say I have a bad day. When it comes to my servicing, when it comes to my so-called work or hustle, I don't say I have a slow day. I say I have a relaxing day. If I
okay,
have a
okay,
good day or a fast day,
okay.
I say I have a prosperous day.
All
Because
right.
every word you use is a spell upon yourself. So I'm not talking about that 100% positivity, namaste bullshit. If
Mm,
anybody knows Mind Ascension, you know I'm not about none of that dumb shit at all. Because there's a
true.
time for anger, there's a time for happiness, there's a time
True.
for joy, there's a time for ecstasy, there's a time for fear. You know what I'm
True.
saying? But at the
True.
end of the day, it's how you're utilizing these energies and how you're concentrating it into something that makes you more powerful, not
Yeah.
less. Because
Yeah.
you can use fear, you can use anger, and you can use hate. Because all of these things are nothing but degrees of emotions, which is energy in motion. So you
Mm.
can use all of those feelings. They're not wrong to feel any of
True.
that.
True. True.
So we got to get out of that mindset thinking it's a bad thing to have a negative thought, or a bad thing to have anger, or to feel frustrated about something.
Yeah.
When you feel it, acknowledge it, and then
Yeah.
transfer that energy or concentrate that energy.
Right.
You have two options. So
So
transfer it or concentrate it.
you
That's the
know what I
that's
mean?
the
Because
key.
sometimes people fake it, man. Like another thing I was noticing as I was on my way over here was that sometimes people say like they act different from social media, man. It's people that act they smile in all their pictures, act like everything is sweet.
Yeah.
But when you see them in person, they got a frown on their face. You know what I mean? They look like they just doing terrible. You know what I mean? Horrible. You know what I mean? But on social media, they all smiles and grins and chuckles. But in reality, it's a whole different lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's reality? What's real from what's fake? You feel me? Like people smiling, posing with stuff on camera and stuff like that. But in reality, it's not as sweet as it seems. You know what I mean? So are we keeping it real? Who's keeping it real? What's real? You feel me?
There you go. You just went into what I was just about to say. What is real?
Right.
Your reality is based on your mindset. Your reality is based on a combination of your concepts and what you project of yourself, in yourself, for yourself. So what you call real, who cares what the hell their life is about or not, unless you plan on making a life with them. If you plan on making a life with them, now their reality has to affect yours. But if you don't make a life with them, you shouldn't give a shit what the fuck, whether it's real or not. And then social media is about projecting a facade. This is what the day we are in now is about synthetic and delusionary aspects.
Yeah, it's virtual.
We need to project facades of what we are. We need to project energies of what we are, even though we not. You see what I'm saying? In order to obtain, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with that, because with consistency, eventually you end up becoming that. We've already seen the dumbest people blow up off social media. We've already seen the most talentless people on the planet become famous and artists or whatever the hell you want to call them today. But at the end of the day, what they did was they projected a facade consistently.
Yeah.
This is why now that facade that has been projected consistently has become the template of the uniform of the entertainer or the rapper, so on and so forth. The different color hair, the tattoos on the face, this look of how ridiculous can I look today is the new uniform of the entertainer / artist.
To be unique.
Now everybody it starts as being unique, and now it becomes the template. So you have already destroyed the uniqueness of it, because everybody does the same shit. Everybody has dreads. Everybody has one color on one side, one color on the other side. Everybody got tattoos on their damn face. Everybody doing the same shit. So it's not unique no more. You see what I'm saying?
True.
We're out of a creative mind and into an imitation mind. None of us create anymore. None of us tap into our left brain, tap into our divinity, and come up with so-called new ideas, which, by the way, in another video I said there's no such thing as a new idea. But on a surface level, you can create something that others have not seen yet.
True.
You see what I'm saying? Or others have not thought of within that dimension that you're in at that time.
True.
So today we are dealing with a lot of fake facades. We're dealing with a lot of projection of what we desire to be. We're dealing with a lot of need to create illusions and delusions around us. And to be honest with you, what are we doing? We're imitating our oppressors, because our oppressors created delusions around what we think a man and woman is, delusions around what education and knowledge is, delusions around what success is. Because at the end of the day, everything starts with your mind as an individual connected to all minds in existence. So if you don't understand that your success, your reality, your happiness, your joy, your hate, your love comes from yourself, it comes from your mind and your own thinking that you choose to be at that time, then everything will be able to control you. Everything. And you'll always be a slave, no matter how you look at it, whether it's a slave economically to your job, whether it's a slave due to your mindset and your thinking of false education, whether it's a slave due to socialisms that been projected and created by a synthetic soulless being who's telling you that this is the proper way to look, talk, walk, so and so and so forth. So at the end of the day, mind is all. And it sounds cliche, but it's an absolute fact and reality. It is our minds that have sustained our current so-called reality that we're in as a whole. I have to say that because I don't live in that motherfucking reality. But I will never speak from my own personal perspective, because I know that I am a minuscule fraction of an exception. And I don't use exceptions to make points. I use majority. Anybody that uses an exception to make a point, they're locked in an illusion. So, you know.
Yo, it's crazy. I wanna get into some current events. This kind of bugged me out, man. Your boy Poppy Ortiz, the baseball player, they tried to kill old boy for like $7,000, boy.
Well, honestly, bro, as you should already know by now, brother, I don't deal with no current events. I don't deal with no celebrityisms. I don't deal with what's going on in the news or not. Now, I have no problem addressing it if it's brought up. But that's never been mine, essentially, because honestly, I don't live in this world. I really don't even know who the fuck you talking about right now.
Oh, nah? That's
good. I really don't,
that's
because
good.
I don't live in this world on purpose. I don't live in this world on purpose. I come down, I interact with the humans, I do what I can do for the purpose that I have chosen to be here in this time frame and dimension. But in the holism of it, I don't live in this world. I don't follow social media to an extent. I don't follow celebrityism and what's going on with the controversies and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, once you start tapping into that, that's what ends up becoming your reality. It ends up becoming more real to you. And therefore it will affect you. That's why you're talking about it right now. And when you think about it, he said, damn, they kill old boy for $7,000, It's affecting you. No matter if the degree is large or the degree is small, it's affecting you. I don't live in a certain world because I don't want anything outside of me affecting me.
I hear you. I hear
I'm
you.
the controller of my reality, my
Right,
thinking, my
right.
joy, my love, my hate, my anger. Everything that I feel, think, have, experience is my creation.
All right, all
I'm
right,
the
all right, all
master and
right.
ruler.
You know, it just bothers me, man. Like certain things, man. You know what I mean? I was riding the transit system the other day. The train. It was like 2 in the morning, man. I just seen like a bunch of homeless people, son. I'm like, damn, son. That shit was bothering me, man. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100, man.
Yeah.
It was bothering me, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just it's smelling, all type of stuff, man. People gotta ride that train, man. That's not in that situation, and it's just a bad look. You feel me? It's a bad look. It's a bad look, son.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This homelessness and just people just in the city just bugging out. You know, bumming it out too much. You feel me? Like, I mean, people go through difficult times, but man, son.
Well, at the end of the day, you got to look at it for what it really is. This is not an accident. This is an epidemic that has been strategically put into place due to consistency of this economic failures and these different levels of placing a certain volume of what we calling the so-called independent woman into so many different categories of careers, while at the same time displacing the men. So when you displace the men, what do you create? You create more poverty. You create more need for jobs, but less jobs available. You create a result due to a cause and a reaction.
But this is my question to the people that's doing this. How do you live with yourselves? I know you don't live with yourselves. You feel like killing yourselves. You don't know what to do with your wealth. How do you even go throughout your days, man? You know what I mean?
That's an irrelevant question. That's an irrelevant because at the end of the day, once again, you have to always remind yourself you're dealing with a soulless people. And when you don't have a soul, when you're a synthetic copy of an original, then you don't have the feelings and you don't have the morality of that original copy and organism.
Oh.
So don't expect anything outside of yourself. Stop expecting anything outside of yourself, whether it's from an individual, whether it's from an organism, whether it's from an object. Don't expect anything outside of yourself. I don't give a damn how they live with themselves, how they feel. I just know what's going on now. I'm aware of it. I acknowledge it, and I apply the science necessary.
So you're telling me
that my world is not affected by it?
that on the average, they don't care because it don't affect them, or
What I'm telling you is stop caring about why they care, shouldn't care, don't care, whatever. It's irrelevant. That's what I'm saying.
True.
Because guess what? Once again, I have to go back to what you make your reality. Right now, you're making homelessness and this bullshit your reality, and how the people who have put these things in place feel about it. Who gives a shit how they feel about it? I don't even want to acknowledge them to the extent that I make them a reality within my life, because they don't exist within my life. And homelessness don't exist within my life. And diseases don't exist within my life. But at the end of the day, when I come down to a human level, I know I have to acknowledge it, but I only acknowledge it to remind the human that they are above it. That's
Okay.
my only point for acknowledging anything. When y'all see me talk about the recessive, when y'all see me talk about history, I do this to remind and spark something in your mind to let you know that you are above that. That's the only reason why I do it. If I can get everybody on a level to where you understand that you are not of this human bullshit and you are not of this mankind bullshit, then I never have to speak like that to y'all ever again. I
True.
can go straight into the purest aspects of the 7 laws, the purest aspects of geometrics, the purest aspects of the 4 elements, the purest aspects of everything that creates this so-called physical world around us, to make you your own magician, your own alchemist, your own scientist, and your own God for yourself. But I have to get over that hump first of what's being done to us, what has been done to us, how we're being controlled mentally, how we're being affected organically, how we're being poisoned. Then once I can get that out the way, then we can start complete activation.
True.
So don't stop worrying about what these soulless people are feeling, thinking, not thinking. That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
And when you start thinking about that shit, what happens? You get frustrated, you get an anger, you start, well, how can people do this? Well, this is fucked up. That's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. And that's that human
Well,
captivity.
I'm doing not too bad, but when there's people around you not doing too good, it kind of like it weighs on you a little bit. You feel me?
Okay, if you choose to. Everything is a choice.
True.
Everything is a choice. Your sadness, your hate, your love, your happiness, your joy, your job, everything is a choice. There's nothing in existence that you live that doesn't have a choice. Even the things you think that you don't have a choice of, you just don't like the choice that you have.
Yeah.
So therefore you say you don't have a choice. That's false. You can say, well, it's a life or death situation. Guess what? Those are two choices, life or death.
True,
But
true,
because
true,
you don't want to choose death, you say you don't have a choice. That's false. There's
True.
certain things that on my human level as a man that I will die before I do. And I will choose the choice of death before I choose the choice of a certain act that will decimate my manhood. You see, but that's my human shit though. That's my human level. You see,
True,
and I have
true.
to acknowledge that. We have to constantly acknowledge everything. We have to acknowledge our own egos. We have to acknowledge that humanity is our captivity. We have to acknowledge our feminine side as men. Women have to acknowledge their masculine side. Now, when I say this, I don't say this to solidify the bullshit we see today with these feminine ass, faggot ass niggas and
Yeah.
these masculine ass, niggerish ass bitches. What I'm saying is acknowledge the fact that you possess both energies within you that are in balance, not of equality, but are in balance of a form of give and take due to the usage of it.
Yeah.
Meaning what? I possess 20% feminine to tap into that feminine to
Right.
be more creative,
Yeah.
to be more nurturing to my woman,
True,
to
true.
be more of a receiver
To relate.
to
basi-
nature.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see? You tap into your 20% masculine as a woman to be more defensive at times of war, to be able to protect what's necessary in the moment that is in the range of harm. You see what I'm saying? To be analytical at the time, you have to put your emotions aside. And
Yeah.
we both possess each energy inside, but we don't possess them equally at 50-50. We
True,
possess
true.
them 70-30, 80-20. And we have to learn when we are overusing one side that is not cohesive or that is not in balance with our anatomy. Because the anatomy that you're born in was the physical part of the energetic side. What do
Yeah.
I mean by that? My physical anatomy as a male specimen or human being is the polarity to my spiritual or energetic
Yeah.
energy of the masculine. That's why I have 80% logic with my that matches with my anatomical body as a male. Because that logic is what makes me a better laborer. That logic is what makes me stronger, what makes me more physical, and
True.
what makes me lie. By the way, logic is lockdown. And see, as a man, I have to acknowledge that being overly logical puts me in a box. I have to acknowledge that being overly logical stops me from being a god. So I always have to keep that in mind, but at the same time, I have to acknowledge that as a man, my duty and my purpose and my nature is to be logical.
True.
Because I'm here to be the analytical part of her, to take the laborious aspect out of her so she could continue to be the spiritual side of me.
True,
of me.
true, 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 true.
You see what I'm saying? So once we start learning how to work these polarities, acknowledge everything that we are, acknowledge your fucking ego, man, because we all got it.
Yeah.
I got an ego, but my ego is like this compared to my intelligence. And I work every day to squish it smaller and smaller. But if you're on this third dimensional plane, you need your ego. You can't be here without your ego.
Yeah.
But you have to acknowledge it.
Well,
I hear
well,
so
I
many
think
people-
instead of using the word ego, is confidence.
No, it's not the same thing.
Okay.
It's not the same thing. Your confidence is something that you feel confident in after attempting and accomplishing it numerous times. Now you know that this is what you are, this is what you can do, and this is the skill that you have.
Right.
That's different.
Right.
Ego is inside of you due to the combination of your environment and the preferences and the things that you've been conditioned as a human being in this current realm. Your ego today,
Yeah.
as a black man in 2019 under the oppression of a recessive, is way different than your ego in ancient times, but you still possessed it. Your ego in ancient times was to be the warrior for your kingdom. Your ego in ancient times was be the noble king for the people. But your ego today is to be the dopest nigga and I don't know, the fucking
The coolest.
blingest, whatever the
The
fuck. I don't
coolest
even
nigga.
see. I'm so disconnected to this bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know anymore what the fuck these niggas care about now. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Well, basically,
You
do
still
what
had an
everybody do what everybody else is doing.
okay, yeah,
Be the coolest nigga, the coolest nigga. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Shit like that. But
what's the time?
well, 20 minutes.
I think that's good, man. I think that's good. I'm gonna show.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, man.
At the end of the day, y'all, in order to be a divine being, you have to acknowledge everything in existence inside of you and around you. When I say around you, I mean the elements, I mean the organisms.
Right.
Okay? I don't mean the gossip. I don't mean the celebrityism. I don't mean the socialism. I'm talking about the aspects that exist before man was here.
Right.
And the aspects that exist inside man simultaneously, because the elements exist in you as well. Secondly, acknowledge your ego. Acknowledge the fact that you still have a European mind. Acknowledge the fact that you still are egotistical on some things. And when you do something egotistical, say, that's my ego. When I wake up every day and I need to put on a shirt or something that's symbolic of who I am and what I am, that's my ego. That's my ego. Because I can't leave my house without knowing I have something on my body that people will look at and either get disturbed or either ask a question. That's my ego. Because your ego comes with a persona as well. I have a persona.
Okay.
The fact of what I might wear on my head, my beard, all of that is part of my persona, is part of my ego. And I must acknowledge it. But
Right.
see, when you're utilizing your intelligence and your ego with a specific purpose, now you are on the right path.
Yeah.
People utilize their ego for a personal aspect to lift themselves up from a lower state because they're incapable of that mentally themselves.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So acknowledge your ego.
Right.
Acknowledge your own energy inside and out, that you possess both the feminine and masculine. As a
True.
man, let yourself know you being a bitch nigga.
True.
There's times where I get into my emotions, I have to, and I'll tell, listen, babe, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna lie, I was at
Yeah.
my 20%. You know what I'm saying? I was
True.
at my 20%. There's times where I have a video and I'll tell y'all before I even start, I'm gonna be real human today. Don't I say that shit? Because as only a human denies nature and reality.
True.
Only a human denies when they're being egotistical. Did it stop?
No.
Only a human denies when they're being egotistical. Only a human denies truth. A God can acknowledge everything and not be affected by it
Yeah.
on the scale of the fact that they're actually a scientist and a servant simultaneously. I'm not affected by the homelessness, the death, the brutality, and all that dumb shit unless I choose to be. Once I choose to watch that shit, then I'm making a commitment and agreement with that symbolism to make it a part of my reality. That's why I will never post anything showing our brutality. I will never post anything showing our weakness or showing our ignorance. Everything that I put up that you see Mind Ascension talk about or post on his page has to do with either empowerment, science, or breaking down the fact of why this recessive is what it is and why you are what you are or what you
True.
can be.
True.
But on that note, y'all, Mind Ascension, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Divinity is key. Divinity over unity. Respect over love. Intelligence over love. I'm not here to give y'all that cliche shit, y'all. I'm not here to give y'all that cliche, love everybody, we need unity, black power, fuck all of that shit. This is a new time, a new age, and we here
True.
to take things to a level that nobody's taken it before. You hear Mind Ascension talk, you gonna hear some shit that might offend you, but you gonna hear some shit that's gonna activate you. 'Cause
Right.
I'm not here to regurgitate the same rhetoric that's been going in circles since the 80s, 90s, 70s, 60s. Fuck all that shit. I don't want unity with no dumb motherfucker. I want divinity.
Right.
I don't want equality with nobody. I want balance and complementary energy. I don't want no fucking love. I want respect. I want honor. I want reciprocity. I want righteousness.
Yeah.
I want intelligence. I don't want education. I want knowledge. I don't want health. I want immortality. You see? When you start thinking like a god, when you start moving like a god, when you
Yeah.
start talking like a god, then you become one.
Yeah, we up one.
Done.
All right. We got money.
You stopped it?
All right, now.
Stop
All right,
it.
so signing out, man.
I'm out. Subscribe.
Peace.
Comment. Blah, blah, blah.